fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is Wasted Youth. It was written by Christopher Smith Adair. It's part of a collection called New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley, and it's available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our game master is Jen Obertacz, and this is episode 4. Our recap will be given by Dexter Yoakum as his character, Dr. Adrian Ramberg. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Next.
From the Journal of Dr. Adrian Ramberg. Scheiße, where do I begin? My journey to America has been full of surprises and acting. My American correspondent, the good Dr. Sprague, the American PI Darius Shaw, and local journalist Clancy set off to investigate the children who attacked Shaw's car earlier that day. Dr. Sprague discreetly administered the two children with a dosage of potassium bromide, our closest thing to a cure now. Just like Billy Washburn, the two children began to vomit profuse amounts of black liquid. The good doctor quickly discovered amorphous parasitic-like organisms within the retchings. He recounted to me over an extremely fried food. He recounted to me this over extremely fried food this evening, how these organisms fuse themselves together when put in a bucket. All the while this was happening, me and the local mountain man, Brody Hammer, went to the local elementary school where we were stonewalled into waiting for the slow grind of the American legal system. Through my delightful interviews with the faculty, though, I was able to learn of a recent new student who had been working in the cafeteria named Elijah Corey from Dunwich. Once the warrant was in order, Brody and I secured the address and headed over to the Corey residence, only to learn that he had left to the woods with the Boy Scouts for a camping trip. Within Elijah's room, I found he had a knack for nature and a collection of disturbed drawings depicting strange beings. That night, our team regrouped at the diner to go over all of our case notes, and Scheiße, nothing in Vienna could have prepared me for what happened next. I'm not sure what frightens me more, the grisly murder carried out by a little girl, or the fact Shaw would have shot her dead had I not intervened. My only fear now is for the Boy Scouts on the camping trip. If Elijah is the source of the parasite, who knows how many could be infected now? Oh my God. We must act quickly and put a stop to such wasted youths.
Very good. Thank you very much. We're going to pick up where we left off after a blood-soaked 12-year-old girl runs off into the night. Darius, you're on the ground with Dr. Ramberg on top of you after he stopped you from shooting said 12-year-old girl.
What's wrong with you? I almost shot you.
Well, I'm just like in shock, I guess. I'm too mad to say anything. I guess I'm gonna like keep looking. I'm gonna like just completely, well, I'll probably have to get up first.
Go and get off me first up.
Do I see where she ran off to? She just ran across the bridge, right?
She's been running across the bridge. Both of you give me spot hidden.
Clancy followed as well.
Yes. So you give me a spot hidden as well.
Okay.
Nope. Okay.
I made it.
Okay. Clancy?
Yes. Regular.
Okay. So the two of you look up. Darius, you're still you've got a several hundred pounds. You've got about 100 pounds of sociologist on top of you, so you're sort of distracted. Well, the two of you look up to see this. You hear first of all, you hear some screams right as you see what looks like the silhouette of a girl shove something on wheels over the bridge into the river. And then you hear a long, blood-curdling, "My baby!"
How close is Clancy?
What's going on?
I guess I'm just gonna bolt. Can I jump in the river?
Well,
Go right ahead, please. That would be a swim check.
Clancy was
I
going
swim?
in.
I don't know.
They're both going in.
Yeah. So.
I can swim, but not very
So I'm
well.
going to need both of you to give me a swim check.
I guess I'm gonna take my coat off and just jump in the river to save a baby. Okay. That's a fail with a 41 for 20 swim.
Okay.
A little better of a swim, but not much. I got an 18.
Ooh.
That is regular success.
Okay. So, Adrian, this water is completely muddy. You can't really see anything, and you're so freaked out you swallow some of the river water.
I'm not saving them.
Clancy, you, on the other hand, managed to spot what looked like a sinking baby carriage and a violently twitching infant trying to struggle free of the blankets while sinking under the water.
Grabbing the baby.
Okay. Obviously, it struggles a little bit because it's a freaked out baby, but you do manage to get it, and the carriage is a loss, but you manage to swim back to the river shore, and this like sobbing woman is like collapsed near the bridge.
I'll go console her, I guess. Probably try and get out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
See if the baby's okay.
Ma'am, it's okay. Your baby's all right. He's right over. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but
My little boy. Oh, thank you, sir. She takes her son and just like curls around him and like is basically bawling into the top of his head.
You'll want to go to the hospital, ma'am. The child might have swallowed water, might have problems this evening.
Yes. She's basically just wipes at her eyes and like is cradling the baby to her as she just rushes off.
Wait, before you run, what happened?
This demon of a child, she covered in blood, she bumped into me as we were crossing the bridge, and then she pushed my baby into the river, and she smiled.
So as she says that, Darius just looks Adrian right in the eye. Nothing, just looks him right in the eye.
Where there's a lot of cops on the other side of the bridge, just pointing in the direction. You need a ride to the hospital. Let's go get the cops. I'll help you out.
Yes, thank you.
So,
Brody and Dr. Sprague, you two are standing with the cops at near where the body is of the young girl.
Right.
And you see Clancy, dripping wet, leaning over a sobbing woman cradling an equally wet baby.
I'm probably being questioned by the police, though. I mean, we've got the police there. We've probably got paramedics or.
Well, I mean, yes, there's at least someone from the coroner's office is here to take the body.
Did you get the girl?
They would have come with not knowing that the person was dead. So.
Well, all right, yeah. So there are some
usually
medics
send a
here too.
crew, Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole crew's here. While all of this was going on, you two have been giving your statements. Vincent, Virgil has arrived. They weren't sure what they were going to find, so they brought him along anyway, and oh dear. He sort of glances at all of this before he looks at the body. Oh. Vincent, what have you gotten yourself into?
Well, I think I was running to catch up to Darius and them.
Okay,
well, correctly.
Okay, well, all right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. My memory is a little spotty. All right, in that case, Dr. Vincent, you managed to get over to them in a minute. I'll get back to you in a second. Brody, you are being questioned by the police, what you saw, where's the rest of your people, who did this, the general slate of questions. They're like several officers go pale when you mentioned that you saw the killer and it was a 12-year-old girl.
We think that we have somebody in this town that is poisoning the children, and it's causing the children to act in a manner that's highly erratic and insane. We also now have reason to believe that they might be targeting the children at a campground near here. Wilcox Farm? Was it Wilcox?
One of the cops blinks for a second. Oh, over at the Winthrop place or nearabouts?
That's correct. We need to go over there and see what's going on. The children may all have poisoned food. It's becoming an epidemic in the town.
Geez, sounds like it. As you guys are talking, all of a sudden you hear this blood-curdling scream. Well, first of all, you hear a gunshot. Everyone kind of bolts over to see what's going on. Then you hear a splash and a blood-curdling scream of, "My baby!"
Well,
And then you hear,
if there's cops here, I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to let them do their jobs.
right, so they're starting to rush over in that general direction, but then you hear, then you hear two more splashes.
Right. I'll wander in that direction as I see.
Mhm.
I probably watch everything that goes on.
Right. Dr. Vincent, you show up at the bridge right as Clancy is bringing the baby back to his mother and that whole conversation. So everyone's more or less caught up.
All right. I will go over to the baby right away just to make sure it's okay. Since I am a medical doctor as well. So just at least do a first aid check on it.
Yep. Go right ahead.
Pass. Regular.
Okay. Aside from being wet, cold, and maybe swallowed a little bit of the river water, and obviously very frightened, the child's fine.
Yes. I would take her home, put her in new clothing, warm her up, give her a warm bottle. If you feel you need to, the next day, take her to her pediatrician.
Oh, thank you, doctor.
Mm-hmm.
She sort of just curls around her child, gives a very watery smile to all of you, and then rushes off with her baby. And so Brody, you see her run by with a soaking wet infant, and then you come across the rest of them, and you notice that both Dr. Rambert and Clancy are both drenched, and Darius is looking kind of ruffled, and his gun is smoking.
What were you shooting at, Darius?
Doctor, it's a little girl, or whatever's.
I'm gonna go over to Sprague.
The same little girl.
He tried to shoot that little girl.
Right, the little girl who almost completely dismembered one girl and pushed a baby into a river.
Darius,
little girl.
Shoot a little girl, though.
Especially since we know the cure, Darius.
Look how many people have to get hurt before you cure this thing that
And she's not even caught yet.
was about to take 2 lives. And
She
look,
needs to be cured.
She threw her cleaver into the water to get rid of evidence. Clearly, it's not a mindless animal. This thing is thinking and malevolent. You need to put them down the moment they've taken life. They've tasted blood, they like
But
it.
we can cure them. We can get this out of them. We know.
And then what?
This is
Let's say you
inappropriate.
do. Let's say you do as she remembers. You want her to live with that? You want
What
that
happens
thing.
if you-
Billy
Because
Washburn
it's
did
not
not
infected.
remember anything. He had amnesia, remember?
And what do we tell that little girl, the dismembered girl's parents? Or what happened
We
if the
shot
baby died?
the girl
Yeah.
that killed her.
Right.
Right? Yeah. What if you shoot the wrong kid?
You could have shot anybody on that bridge.
Face full
Yeah.
of blood.
What do you
That
think
one?
the little girl's parents are going to do to you when they find out you killed her little girl? They're not going to
What?
believe you that she was nuts.
Oh, everyone saw her. Remember
No, everyone did see it.
No, I am
lady
the
with
only one who
red.
saw you madman.
Oh no, not me shot her. I mean the
Look,
her kill
Look,
the
whatever
I
the
think
problem
we have-
is, this whole place is going to hell if we don't get to those kids.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree.
We need to get to that campsite. Where did you say it was, Brody?
Winthrop.
Winthrop.
Well, Clancy's talking to the police before we leave. We've got to find this girl. I'll describe her as much as I can, tell her last known direction, and send them on the way.
They definitely, they're like, all right, yeah, we'll do that. But you definitely see several of them are kind of pale, and from the smell coming off the breath of one of them, he may have lost his dinner upon seeing the body.
This
Get a
girl
hold
is
of
extremely
yourself.
dangerous.
Do go find that girl.
Extreme caution.
Let them
Extreme
go find
caution.
that girl. We got to find those kids.
And then what do we do with her?
You can deal with that later. Find the girl.
Take her to the
Just one
asylum.
person
She's nuts.
threw a baby in the river. That's not my concern right now. Find the child. We've got other things to do.
The other doctors have a cure or whatever. You can ask them about some potassium thing, but find the girl, contain her first.
Oh, all right. All of a sudden, one of the officers looked over at you, Dr. Sprague. Wait a minute. Didn't we just see you? One of
There's
the other
a
ones.
lot of them.
One of the other ones smacks his compatriot. No, that's the Emmy's brother. Remember? Oh yeah, that's right.
That's all right. They get us confused all the time. They in school they used to call us Larry, Curly, and Moe.
But you're all smarter than those three, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's they glance at each other. Dr. Virgil, right? Yeah, that one is the one with us. So I guess we'll make sure to. Is there anything what's this cure? Maybe he'll know something. I don't know.
It's potassium bromide.
Potassium bro. Listen, McAuliffe, go back there and talk to the ME. He'll know that drug, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
That's not all. You're gonna need to catch their vomit. It's quite important that you catch whatever they vomit up. This black liquid. It needs to be disposed of and contained. It's very important. We can't let it get out.
It could be contagious.
Parasitic almost.
Yes.
Be careful what you catch it in. If it's a bucket, the buckets move on their own and
Wait.
attack you.
Just do what we tell you to do and stop acting like an idiot. Go do it.
The three of them kind of glare at you a bit, but you're like, all right, and then head off to talk to the ME.
I'm going to turn to Brody and say, we're not really taking these idiots with us out to the farm, are we?
Well, we're going out to the farm. We need to get somebody out there who can shoot people without getting thrown in prison for it, Darius. You're not 007. You don't have a license to kill anyone.
So what do you plan to do when we get there and you're surrounded by homicidal children?
Give them bromide.
Bromide.
Potassium bromide.
Each child can take down 2 giant orderlies.
You're
That's why
implying
the
that
police
they're all
come
in
with us.
Let's talk about this on the road. If you want to grab a cop, grab one of these idiot cops, but let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just sitting here doing nothing. Yeah.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Probably a couple here.
Call the National Guard.
I'll go with Brody, and you have like a truck, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pickup truck with a hound dog and a shotgun.
I've always wanted to ride an American pickup truck.
All right, so if you guys are heading on the road,
It's made by Volkswagen.
Yeah, but we'll grab one of the cops if they're willing to come along.
okay.
A cop that we know a little better.
All right. You do have one of the cops with you.
Okay.
All right. So, the three of you, or rather, yeah, there's 2 cars that are going. So it's Dr. Rambert and Brody, and Darius, Vincent, and Clancy, and their cop friend are in the other car. In order to get to the Winthrop farm, it's pretty easy. You just take the Aylesbury Pike out of town for about 7 miles or so, and eventually you'll be turning right onto a dirt road. Now, it is pretty dark. It's about maybe 1:30, going on 2 in the morning now. It's late.
Ours have lights on them.
Well, right. So it's sort of it's kind of hard to see sometimes beyond the sodium beams of your headlights, but that just adds to the ambiance. Eventually, you cross a wooden bridge over the Miskatonic River, and then you drive on the road for about another 3 miles, and you see the farm on your left.
Okay.
And as you pull up, you hear the barking of a dog, a very loud barking of a dog.
Do we see any campfires or anything?
No, but you suddenly see the lights in the farmhouse come on.
I guess I'll walk up to the farmhouse kind of cautiously and maybe try to call out.
Right as you start getting ready to call out, you sort of glance up and you see the stars are starting to get kind of obscured by rolling in dark, although it's rather dark, you can't really tell the color, but it's definitely heavy looking clouds. And there's a very low rumble of thunder.
Ooh.
Several miles or so away.
Storm's rolling in.
Not good.
Are there other cars here too? I mean, we're looking for multiple kids, so they would have had to take multiple vehicles.
At this point, you mostly just see what looks like a farm truck and what looks like maybe a tractor in the barn.
Ask the farmer where the kids are camped.
They're camped near the woods around the farm, right?
Or at least the campsite is near the farm, yeah.
Well, I assume the farmer would know where they're camped on
Yeah.
the property.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We'll
So,
walk up with the police officer. We have a cop with us too.
Right. This is McAuliffe, who had to talk to Dr. Virgil really quickly. But that's the one you dragged with you. McAuliffe kind of just gives you guys a sort of bewildered glance, because he just got dragged into this on his walking his beat. This is not how he expected his night to go. But knock, knock, knock. Mr. Winthrop? Officer? Do you know what time it is? Yeah, sorry about that, sir. He kind of like yawns a little bit, and you can tell this is definitely a farmer, very salt of the earth type. Definitely wasn't expecting to be woken up at 2 a.m. Can I help you? Yes, sorry to bother you, sir, but have you heard from the Boy Scout troop that's camping near your land? Boy Scouts? They arrived yesterday. Why?
Where are they?
Do you know where they're camping?
People.
Yeah. Peace, Brody.
Also, that dog is like still barking. Chief, quiet. Sorry about that. It is rather late.
Yeah, we're sorry to wake you up.
He sort of rubs at his face. George Winthrop. They're about half a mile from the farmhouse. There's a clearing. It's pretty easy to find.
Point us in no direction, please.
It must be serious if you brought a police officer with you.
No, it's not serious at all. We just decided to go for a walk out in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's a very serious. We worry that
where the
perhaps
fuck
one of
are the kids?
The children now. And
oh no,
The kids are in danger.
He kind of.
Why does nobody care that the kids are in danger?
I agree with you.
I would certainly agree with you if I knew more. He started
I don't
glaring
need you
at
to
you.
fucking agree with me. Tell me where the fucking kids are.
does he point?
Maybe you take us there and we can tell you along the way. George,
all right,
if you're
all
okay with
right.
that.
Coffee and
That's
cake.
fine. Chief,
My
come on.
character's sake.
Let me get my pants on.
Oh crap! He didn't have pants on. Insanity.
in a couple
Well,
lanterns.
why don't you put on
Hurry.
coffee and we'll talk about it for an hour before we go out and save the children.
He sort of, gets his stuff. He's like, as he's coming out, he sort of glances up as he's got a lantern. Looks like rain's coming in.
I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Wind's calm.
I'm not.
Brody, deep breaths.
I feel like
All
I'm
right.
taking crazy pills.
So, all right. So he takes you after, he's definitely going to check it out. They head up to the campsite. It's about, as he said, about half a mile northwest of the farmhouse, close to the woods. You come into the clearing and it's dark. Again, the stars are covered. The moon is kind of covered by the clouds. Without the lantern, you really wouldn't be able to see much. But you can definitely see what appears to be a ring of 5 tents and a fire pit.
Is the dog with us and is it reacting at all?
The dog, it's a golden retriever named Chief.
Oh dear.
He's sniffing around and he's sniffing like he's noticing something, but he's not like acting very concerned at the moment.
Okay.
Pulling out for Dudley.
I'm
No
going up to
answer.
the tent and opening up the flap.
Empty.
All of them?
If you check them all,
Check them all.
I kind of want to systematically go through some of the tents and see if maybe I can find a
I'm
live.
just
Empty.
throwing open. Yeah, I'm just throwing them open.
Was there evidence of a campfire?
yes, actually, Brody. There had been a campfire that you could tell that it had been put out a while ago. It's down to just very, very low burning embers.
Are there cooking utensils or anything? Any leftover food?
Yes, it definitely looks like there's like the remain. Actually, that's the odd part. Sitting around the fire, you definitely see what looks like a push to the side like camp grill, like a grate you'd put over the fire. And then you would also see like there's utensils and plates and like those like army mess kits.
Sure.
Like some of those are sitting around. And there is some like partially eaten food, but it's like it had literally they just almost looked like they dropped their stuff and walked off.
Oh, it's fucking too late.
Oh, no.
Can you track them?
I wonder if we'd have
Brody?
gotten here 15 minutes ago. If we'd have caught them.
He had to put his damn
My
trousers
character's
on.
livid at this
No.
point.
Can Brody, do you think you can track them?
We have the dog here too.
Yeah, we do have a dog.
Oh, my track's pretty good.
Hey.
As soon as Winthrop realizes what's happened, he's like, all right. He's like, they can't have gotten far. It was a troop of Boy Scouts and one adult.
Is there a lake close by? Is there something that they would like normally go to, or
Or a cave, something like that.
cave, someplace where they do a night hike?
Not that I can. He's like, not that I can think of. He's like, I knew Dudley. He wasn't too keen on night hikes, especially when storms were coming in.
Okay, if it's a bunch of kids,
Are there other
I'm checking
lanterns?
I can find.
I'm checking the food, the pot and everything. I'm trying to figure out how it got introduced to him, and maybe in the meal. So I'm checking the
Okay. Give me a spot hidden. Do you have a lantern with you?
yes.
Okay, so that'll be a normal. Brody, what was that?
I've got a flashlight.
Yeah, I have a pocket torch, but Clancy's looking for lanterns as well. That might be the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Is the car around, or are there any vehicles at all, like where they came from?
1 second. Yes.
Okay.
I had a regular success. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. Brody.
Okay. From what you see, from the looks of it, you don't see anything like on their plates specifically, but you know what to look for. And in what appears to be a sort of tipped over cooking pot, something kind of wriggles wetly in the light from your lantern.
Yeah, there's one here, gentlemen.
Using my flashlight, I'm going to do a tracking roll to see if I can see
Can
which
I-
way their footprints went.
Can I look at it? Because I don't think I've seen it before.
Touch it.
Okay.
Go prod it.
All right. Let me make. All right. So basically, so what was your track roll?
Track roll is 28 out of 50. So I could spend 3 to make it a hard.
Okay, you can do that if you'd like.
I'll spend 3 luck to make it hard.
Okay. So you pretty easily spot the path they took. There's footprints. Like that's easy. The one thing you also notice, however, is that you see a set of adult and well, the footprints they're leaving out are kids, like kid size.
Uh-huh.
However, you do notice, and this is from what you get from the hard, you also notice what appears to be an adult set, but this
Okay.
one appears to be harder into the ground, and the strides are farther apart than you would expect for an adult, which would generally suggest
Like
the
he's
guy
running?
was running. Yeah.
Kids have turned on Dudley and they're chasing him.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's
Or he
actually
chased them.
highly to our advantage, because a running person in the woods is going to leave a lot of little broken twigs and things like that.
Right,
we
you
can
can
follow
track
up.
them.
And
So-
actually, George actually is having Chief sniff the campsite. Now he's retriever, and they're not bloodhounds who track by scent on the ground. They just they track by scent in the air. So
And real quick, for the footprints, are the kids' footprints over the heavier footprints or the other way around? Like, are they chasing him or is he chasing them?
from the looks of it, it looks like these are among, like they're kind of among the prints. It's sort of hard to tell.
It's hard to tell at night, especially. But he's running. Do they look like they're running?
It looks like not initially.
Well, I say they went this way. If you guys need to collect evidence here, that's fine. But I'm going forward. I want to find out where they went. Hopefully, they've got light with them, so I'll see them a long time before they, before they see us.
I'm gonna grab a lantern if there's one available and run with Brody.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm just heading
Yeah.
along in my soaked
Yeah,
boot.
I'm following
so
Brody as well.
My gait would be I'd run in the direction a little bit that they went, and then I'd stop and I'd look for some sign, broken branch, a plant that's knocked over or stepped over.
Right. So all right, so you're doing that. And yes, Darius, concerning other vehicles, you do see what appears to be like a good sized van that the scoutmaster had probably used to get all the boys here.
Okay. Do you guys
So-
think we should do something to the van first? So if anything happens, they can't get away, or is that secondary?
Secondary.
I guess we should check it. Maybe there's somebody in there. I don't know. Is it just like empty?
If you check the car, it's empty. Basically, McAuliffe is like, I think our first priority's got to be finding those kids and that scoutmaster. There could be some real trouble here. He lets over to Winthrop. Do you have enough time to run back to your house and get? I've got one in the truck. It's closer. As he's dashing off to his car.
I'd say call the police and get more police out here.
He tells McAuliffe that, but unfortunately, Winthrop lives about a mile away from a phone.
Do they have
Oh.
a radio or anything in their car? In the
Um,
police car?
We didn't take a police car, did we?
No, you didn't.
We took our car.
Policeman took a police car.
He got in our car.
Yes.
He got in
Yeah.
Shaw's car as like a favor.
Yeah, we just grabbed him and went.
I'm-
So,
I'm moving to
Well-
a bigger city.
Yep. Hey, George, what's this way? So we point to where the tracks lead. Anything you can think of, like landmarks, anything weird, you know.
Not that I can think of. It's mostly just woods out there. You think?
Well,
I'm gonna
Are
assist
we going
Amy
in the
in
direction of
tracking.
Dunwich?
He's like, no, I don't think so.
Are we heading towards the wrong fork in the Allsbury Pike?
No.
Oh, no.
like we find a different set of kids.
We got the
Right,
tracks. I mean, let's go. I mean, those of us who
Dr. Sprague, when
Yeah.
you said I would enjoy the scenic views of the Miskatonic Valley, this is not what I had in mind.
Where's your sense of adventure? Yeah. The feel
with the right shoes.
Winthrop grabs a shotgun from his truck. The dog. He sent Chief with you, Brody. He'll catch up in a minute. Who all has gone with him? I think it was Clancy.
Yeah, Clancy
Chief on
with
the
the
leash.
lantern and assisting the tracking.
Okay. So
Chief
you
is on
guys.
a leash.
No, he's just running right up beside you. He knows the area and he knows what to smell for.
He just doesn't know me, so he's
Right.
not gonna do what I tell him to do. Kill.
Well, let's go, Brody. Let's get these kids.
We'll find ourselves a nice big fat deer. Be like, no, bad dog. All right. So
Okay.
I'm pulling a pistol out too of a hidden
I
pocket.
left my shotgun back in the car. I just got my knife.
I don't have a
no.
weapon. I'll probably just hold a flashlight if we have an extra one.
As you guys are starting to head up back into the woods, George does mention, he's like, well, he's like, I'm not sure why they'd even leave this late. They're trippy bobcats or lynxes out here, but bears aren't unheard of.
They left because they're poisoned with some sort of psychotropic drug.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
Jesus.
kids you've been reading about in the newspaper, the one kid that died of a heart attack, the one that ran down the old man, and
yeah.
they're all on this stuff, and they're being fed it by probably Dudley, who's poisoning them, and now they're all going insane. We just came back from a little girl murdering another little girl in the middle of a street. So there's
Oh,
shit
Jesus,
going
Mary
on
and
here.
Joseph.
We got to stop these.
All right,
we
all
can
right.
cure the kids. We can cure the kids with potassium bromide.
True.
Okay,
So-
all right. As you guys are going through the woods, the pine trees and cedar trees are getting thicker as you go. At this point, even the lights you're carrying with you are having trouble reaching the floor. It's that thick. And all your footsteps are like muffled against this like bed of pine needles, of fallen needles as you're walking through, and like just the scent of like sap and rain and resin is just really heavy.
Can I try and roll a stealth? Maybe.
Sure.
I guess
Middle of
I
the
was-
dark. It's probably.
I mean, we have
probably
lights
stealthy
and
enough.
everything, so I don't know
I
how
guess we have
stealthy we
lights.
could be. Yeah.
Oh, true. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
I just
being
thought maybe we could
However-
like stop everything and maybe see if we could hear them or anything. Like-
Since I'm up in the front, I'm watching out for anything to trip over. I'm an outdoorsman, so I'm using
Right.
my survival skills to point things out. So if I go, watch out there. So as long as you guys are stepping where I step, you should.
Yeah, I keep my light up so that, providing light for everybody else, since I have the lantern.
Okay. Of course, and McAuliffe, of course, has his own flashlight and a pistol that he's keeping it, everything up just in case. After about a quarter mile into the woods, everybody give me spot hidden, please. And who?
Double one.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
All right,
Nice.
The rest of y'all, don't even worry about it. Darius. Yeah, Darius, you spot this. Like you're the first to spot this. You're about a quarter mile into the woods, and you're kind of approaching like there's larger rocks here and there, but one rock has kind of a slick. There's something on it that shines kind of slickly in your light that doesn't seem natural, and it's coppery red.
So Darius smells the air and then points to the rock. Look, blood.
And Chief dashes forward, sniffs, and starts whining and barking. And as everyone comes around, you hear McAuliffe go, "Oh Jesus!" It's a body. Slumped
Adult,
against
child.
adult.
Dudley?
He's slumped against this mossy rock. He's wearing a blood-soaked Scoutmaster uniform, and the top of his head is completely caved in. Flies and ants crawl and buzz around him, and near him is a jagged stone about grapefruit-sized or so, covered in sticky mixture of blood, brains, and skull fragments. Everybody, please give me a sanity roll.
Oh, yes, failed.
It's only in this game that you want to fail that.
I failed.
Fine.
Okay, everybody who passed.
I had a 00, so extreme failure.
Oh, the full Monty.
Our greatest D6 and he'll go insane.
Okay, so everyone who passed loses a point of sanity.
Okay.
Everyone who failed loses 1d4 plus 1. However, Dr. Vincent, because you crit failed, yeah.
No.
Well, it happens, guys.
3. So 2 plus 1.
I got 5.
And
No, the doctors who should
So I'm having a problem too.
now I got you better hope and pray I fail my intelligence.
Yeah, you guys are the highest intelligence.
Oh,
Yeah,
hang on.
Let
me grab my my keeper book. We're doing an insanity roll.
All right. Well, I rolled. That's just hilarious. I rolled 99 for understanding. I don't understand. Yeah.
Okay, good. You convince yourself that
he fell against his head fell against the rock.
It was a doll.
Right. He ran into that rock. He ran into that rock 10 times.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Yeah. He must have tripped and slammed his head against that rock.
They must have somehow turned on him. I think they turned on him.
Wait, the rocks turned on him?
I'm passing a flask to Vincent.
I look at the other rocks.
Okay. McAuliffe passed. And oh wait, that's not even the right die. Ugh. McAuliffe passed. Winthrop failed. Okay. So McAuliffe's like, oh God. And Winthrop's just like, Chief, come here, boy, come here. Oh, Dudley, what happened to you?
Is the body like fresh with all the flies and ants, Doctor? Like, how long? Is this recent?
Who wants to examine the body?
I will examine the body. Well, hold it. I probably wouldn't because I
might. Well, actually, I failed too. And
he failed.
Having a problem with it.
He had 5.
Yeah, I had 5 too.
Okay.
Right.
So we're both like, I will examine it, but I'm really hesitant. I'm going to take a disadvantage.
Okay.
Success. Still passed.
Okay. You would notice that there are numerous lacerations and stab wounds on his arms and torso, as well as the giant wound to the head. you would, and from the looks of it, it looks like it was made from a small blade, probably a pocket knife. And he's still warm.
Well, this just recently happened. They're not too far behind or far ahead. I mean,
Or we're surrounded.
yeah, or we're surrounded. That's one or the other.
I guess I shine the flashlight around in the woods a little bit around us.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to keep looking at the footprints and the sign and going forward if
Like-
that's where the.
Winthrop is just sort of shaking his head. I can't believe. How could they?
This is what we mean, George.
Mm-hmm.
If it's us and them that you have to choose wisely.
Did the Boy Scout master have like a gun on him?
Boy Scout?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
Do you have any vials or anything that it looked like he was carrying the?
I would just be worried that like one of the kids has the gun.
No, the Scoutmaster wouldn't have one.
Boy Scout guns.
This is an area that, again, where they were, if they'd stayed in their campsite, they probably wouldn't have encountered anything super dangerous, so there wouldn't be any need for one.
Gotcha.
Okay. Although, so McAuliffe and George are like, talking quietly, and McAuliffe's like, Mr. Winthrop, you don't have to come with us, you can always just head back. We can handle this. No. These kids are on my property, and Dudley was my friend. I can't just leave him I have to know what happened. Come on. We've got to get going.
Man, let's go.
Okay. So, from what you can see, from the other side of this clearing that you just found him on, the path just keeps going, and it's just kid prints this time.
Did the prints look hurried at all, or are they back to normal walking pace?
What are they going to?
Yeah.
Why are they going in this direction?
You're not sure.
I'm not sure. That's why I said. I'm not,
Right. Sorry.
I'm not
I wasn't
talking
sure.
to you. I'm talking to them. Yeah. So I'm just gonna follow wherever they're going.
Okay. So as you guys are, and Chief is sort of sticking by George, but he's still sniffing the air and indicating that, yeah, this is the right way to go.
Well, let's keep on going.
Darius draws his gun just in case.
I think
I
I'm
go.
gonna go into
And gentlemen, these kids will try to manipulate you. Don't trust them. Look at what they did to the Scoutmaster. If they try to pretend they're just regular kids, be aware what happened to Scoutmaster. Be on your guard.
Good call.
Yeah.
They might
I'm
be
going
sweet.
into full survival mode, so
Yeah.
I'm like hunting at this point.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're trying to save them, but be careful.
Now, just for curiosity's sake, Brody, you're probably always dressed in like stuff you can go into the woods in. Yeah?
Yes.
Jeans, boots, what I see here. Yes?
Yeah.
The rest of you are probably not dressed like that, right?
No.
No, I'm
Okay.
probably in my usual suit and tie, and
Yeah, they're dressed. Yeah, your guys are probably dressed like you would in the 1920s.
Still
Yeah.
cold from the river
We're in a
dip
suit. I'm in
earlier.
a wool suit.
You all have your fedoras on.
yeah.
Well, actually, Philip, you and Dr. Ramberg might have lost your hats in the river.
We're
I think
just wet. We're just sopping wet.
Right.
We just right from the river to here.
hmm
Very
You guys
unknown.
went wet in my car, so I'm okay.
Well, yours is very airy, Darius, because the
This
wind.
is true. Aerating.
Yeah. I let my coat hang out the back so it dries.
Okay, so, let's see. All right, so, you guys are gonna keep going. You seem like you're walking for a long time, and I mean a long time. So first, you think you've passed about enough time to get the same amount of time you walk to get from the farmhouse to the first clearing, and then you do that same type of walk again. Then again.
Well, how many hours?
And waiting for sunrise.
Well,
That's
the way this thing talks about, it talks about miles traveled. It doesn't really talk about hours.
Okay. Well, you can figure going through the woods is going to be pretty.
Yeah,
if
maybe
there's
2
not a
miles an
road.
hour at best. Yeah.
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 Right. That would be reasonable.
Okay. All right. So yeah, it takes about. So yeah, that takes about probably half an hour at the absolute least, probably.
It's about 2-ish right now.
So it's probably closer to 2:30. Or actually no, maybe 2:45, I would say.
What time of the year is it?
Summer.
Okay, so sun will come up around 5:30.
Yeah, it's heavy cloud cover though, so it
Oh,
might
that's
not
right.
be
Could
as
be
yeah.
stormy.
Mhm.
Has it started raining at all?
Not yet, but that thunder you heard earlier is closer.
You need to hurry. If it starts raining, the tracks will be
Lose
gone.
the tracks. Yeah.
I'm
don't
looking more
think
at
we want to
broken branches and stuff. So
We also don't want to
Okay.
be caught out here in a storm like that.
Right. As
Summer
you're
storm.
as you're going across, let me see, what's the skill I would think here?
considering that you've been in the river, a little
Yeah, I don't
rain
want to
is
get
gonna bother
wet
you.
more.
Yeah, the two of you who have been in the river, give me con saves, please.
Oh, I drank
I
water.
don't
too.
think you can get any wetter than falling in a river.
Yeah, that's
Rain's
about
not
it.
going to do it.
That's a fail. Yeah,
I dropped my
Yours-
die.
not feeling good. Drinking
Yeah, you're-
tonic river water.
he's a
If Shaw sees,
sociologist.
yeah,
He certainly isn't used to walking in the woods like this.
You're
if
definitely
Shaw
start-
sees Adrian struggling, he begrudgingly take off his trench coat and here you go.
Aw.
Look, I mean, because you're not only shivering, you're nauseous from
Yeah.
drinking that river water.
Yeah, I'm like, "Bleh."
Yeah.
Under breath, damn stupid sociologist getting away with my shot.
Don't shoot children.
Yeah, I got an
I say that in German though, so he doesn't know.
What, Clancy?
I got an extreme.
Okay,
success.
so you're cold, but you've had worse. You've had to do stakeouts with Darius. You're fine.
Darius and I have been through some stuff, so
We have candy in the coat too. You guys need some sugar and stuff.
I might take some of that.
As you guys are keep walking though, like those of you who aren't used to this woods thing, you definitely start feeling like blisters are starting to form on your feet because these shoes are not made for walking in these woods.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And in fact, you've definitely had to try and dodge like tree roots and things that you might not have seen because it's so dark, even with your lights. Brody, you on the other hand are used to all this, so you're just sort of like, oh, tree root, oh, rock.
I've got a 75 in wilderness survival. So yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Oh boy.
All
In
right.
fact, I'm probably slowly getting farther and farther away from them up ahead.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
you and the
so-
dog, yeah.
When you but also that this path is thick with woods and it's been hilly, so you're going up and down hills too.
Right.
So
Oh, this is awful. This is
Dr. Ramberg,
literally awful.
In that case, if I get to the top of any hill,
Mhm.
I'm going to look out ahead over the woods. I realize it's dark, but what I'm hoping to see is maybe a campfire. Maybe they've stopped somewhere.
from what you can tell,
Nothing.
nope, it's too dark. Even with your lights.
That means they don't have a light because otherwise we spot them miles away.
Well, unless they're just through the thickets of trees and we just don't, not enough creeps out.
We've been walking for miles into this forest though.
After about when you hit about 2 miles or so, you come out onto the edge of an unpaved 2-lane highway. And it doesn't look like there's been any tracks, or sorry, it does not seem like there's been any vehicles through here for a while.
Okay. Is there a place across the road where it looks like they re-entered the wood, or can I assume they are walking along the road now? Do I
Give me a
find any
track.
footprints in the road? In the road.
And I'm going to ask George, where do these roads go to?
Oh, just here and there. These are country roads, various farms, other.
Once again, I got 28 out of 50. If I do 3 points of luck, I can get a hard.
If you'd like to.
I'll do a hard again.
Okay. So, you definitely notice that you definitely spot more footprints across the road. And it goes into the woods. It does, however, look like there's a separate set of tracks that kind of goes north along the road for a bit before doubling back and heading back to the woods. Almost like they're trying to throw you off.
Is this a part of your land, George, or is this someone else's property, or are we getting close?
This road ain't
It must be well off his property by now.
Yeah, this ain't my property. We're long off it.
Whose property are we on?
Probably a logging road. We don't have any idea.
Winthrop nods. Ain't nobody lives out this way. It's abandoned as far as I know.
Do we
Well,
proceed?
if they're taking the time to try to throw you off, do they know following them?
I'm definitely proceeding, but I'm not sure that somebody shouldn't go back.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are kind of in distress at this point. How are you going to walk another 2 hours back and not be in the hospital with blisters on your feet?
Well, we can rest and
Out here,
on our way
there's-
back.
There's
I think
no
you need to
time.
get the
I mean, when they're
state
coming back,
troopers out here. You need to
right?
get the
But when
state
we're
troopers,
leaving,
the
we won't be in
ranger,
as much
somebody.
of a hurry.
Well, you could follow the road back, the road back. It'll eventually drop off onto a real road.
How about this? Maybe George, he could take the officer back. Find a car or get us some vehicle to come here, so that on our way back we won't need to walk all the way back to your farm. You know this area best.
The officer
He's like-
can go back. Yeah.
He's like, all right, but here, he sort of gives a whistle to Chief, and he sort of nods over at Brody, and Chief trots up next to you. We'll,
Shotgun too?
Hmm?
Can we have the shotgun too? Does George have a shotgun?
George has a shotgun, yes.
Yeah. Why don't you leave that with Brody too?
Because I'm guessing, Brody, you probably have at least a couple of guns in your car, but you might not
I
take them
do.
with you.
Yeah, I've got a Lee Enfield in the back of my truck.
Or maybe give it to the dog. Oh,
The
it's like the
shotgun
dog
to
doesn't
the
have
dog?
gun. No, to the dog.
Yeah.
Adrian. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna say that dog is smart.
What's the dog gonna do with the shotgun?
All right, I'll take the gun then. If
All right, yeah. So he hands you a double-barreled shotgun.
all right, I make sure it's the safety's on, or it's
Currently
not
it is.
active. Yep.
Mhm.
I have
And
a
I will-
feeling. I have a feeling they might know now that we're tracking them. They may have seen our lights.
True.
Yeah, if he tried to throw us off by,
Should we-
walking up the road and coming back. They may not be that far ahead of us.
Do any of you know Morse code?
From the war.
I don't know if I would know Morse code.
Were any of you in the war aside from Darius?
Define
M-
in.
My character was, but back in the field hospital.
Okay.
What I was thinking
and-
is I could take the flashlight. I could sneak into the woods. And if I find them, I can flash back a message to you so that you could see it. And then you'll know that they're here and they're here. And be
If we
careful.
can see through, how heavy is the woods? I mean,
You're right. It's pretty heavy.
you wouldn't be able to see line of sight. I think we just keep going. I mean, we better in numbers.
Just realize they're probably gonna ambush us.
We could do a skirmish line.
Make sure you got
Proceed
sticks.
cautiously. Yeah.
Stretch it out.
Something you can whack them with if you have to.
They'll be fast and they'll be strong.
Knock the knives out of their hands.
Darius has a gun. I have a gun. Brody, your
Well,
knife.
try not shooting them first. I mean, try
Doc-
subduing them.
We'll try.
And then Dr. Vincent's got the double-barreled shotgun and his medicine bag.
Right.
And we have a dog.
Hmm
We got the potassium bromide or whatever it is.
Yep.
Should have just brought a bunch of bananas. We could just shove bananas in their faces.
I'll pick up a rock, by the
Potassium.
way. Just put it in my
If
pocket.
if we stretch out where we could see each other, everyone has a light, it sounds like. We could just make a long line, like a skirmish line, just go into the woods. I mean, it's harder to ambush us because we've been walking single file.
Mhm. We got to search in a grid motion.
We
Or
just
something.
keep going straight through, all lined up.
Agreed. We'll be outnumbered, so we don't want to spread apart, further
No,
than
not
we
too
need
far.
to. Yeah.
No.
You know what they're
No, 10,
doing
20
is,
feet.
since there's still tracks in the woods, they want us to follow the tracks, and then the other ones will come up behind us. They'll track us. So as long as we know that, that they're going to come at us like this, then
Well,
we're
we'll
pretty
put
safe.
McCullough,
We know what to
the cop in the back behind us, behind our line.
The cop in Winthrop went back though, didn't they?
They left.
Yeah, because
Oh, both of them?
they're heading back so that McAuliffe can call for backup and
I didn't
Winthrop
They can
can,
drive out to here.
I
yeah.
didn't realize McCullough left too with them. Yeah, so I say we don't spread out too far. We keep close
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
checking over our shoulders every once in a while. So
Okay. All right. So getting out. So yeah, it's probably took you about half an hour or so to get out there. And you sort of were chatting about this for a few minutes, but nothing too consequential, really. Since Brody found the correct tracks, you travel into the woods again, and it's yet more walking. Oh my God, so much walking. The trees, like, they're just cedars and pines, and it's just that they've grown so thick, but sometimes it just feels like they're like clawed hands grabbing at your clothes and like tugging at, sort of one time someone who wasn't paying attention pushed a limb forward a little too much, and boing!
At first a bucket, and now a tree's attacking us.
Why don't you shoot?
if we stay spread out a little bit,
You mentioned it.
that you won't get hit. If you spread out a little bit, left and right, we won't get hit.
The two of you who have, been soaked, give me another con save. Dr. Ramberg, on the other hand, you're giving me that at disadvantage because you're already feeling kind of nauseous.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a fail too. I'm getting really
Uh,
sick.
See, should have eaten more candy.
Better
The
screen.
76.
No 9. I can't believe
All right, you're fine. Your shivering is starting to get worse, and your stomach is about ready to give.
Blah. I'm gonna vomit all over the ground, probably all over Darius's jacket that he gave me.
Well, mostly just on some of them, but because it is a trench coat and it is long on you, but
Yeah, it's getting vomit on there. Just on the bottom. Sorry. I eventually regained composure and I feel a lot better.
It's a lot of greasy diner food and river water.
How can you Americans eat this much fried food?
It's
Ugh.
delicious.
It's all cheese. Ugh.
Bill's character.
Too much cheese.
There's no such thing as too much cheese.
Right. I think think I've recovered from dying.
Probably threw the dog completely off their scent once it smelled your, puke.
We're out in the woods. I thought we were going to be in like the university and the asylums and
This is part of America, enjoying the great outdoors.
no.
We might be back in the asylum.
You can stay back on the road, Doctor, and wait for the truck.
No, I have to see this through, honestly. I mean, there's
Let's keep on going.
Jumping in the river.
Okay.
Lead on, Brody.
Okay. All right. So you guys keep going and going and going. And about maybe half a mile or so, you come across a small stream. A few inches deep. Nothing to worry about, really. You can just go through it, move on. About maybe another half mile later, another stream. Again, not much. About a quarter mile later, there's one more stream. This one is about 8 feet wide, and it looks pretty deep. You're not sure how deep at this point because it's dark.
Any
The tracks.
yeah, I mean, did the kids cross the river?
Chief is
following
definitely
tracks.
sniffing, and he definitely is sort of looking like he wants to go across the stream.
I'm gonna look around to see
Yeah,
if there's any sign, because
fallen
this would be
trees.
the best place to ambush us, right? Two people cross the stream, wham.
Spot hidden, please.
39 is
No, I'm blind at 89.
Okay.
39 is a regular.
It's very dark, but no, you don't see any sign that there's anybody like hiding in the woods.
Is there any place where you can cross the river, like fallen trees or?
Actually, as you're looking, you do see what appears to be a series of rounded stones that make could be a path across the river
Okay.
or
This can be a
across the
little
stream, rather.
treacherous if they're loose. I'll go first.
Across the stones.
Yeah.
Dex roll, please.
Oh, finally, 89. That is a fail.
Sorry.
Probably one that's too. I'd have to spend 27 points.
You slip off a rock.
Fuck.
Your foot goes right into the water. It's only about a foot deep.
Uh-huh.
Your shoe and socks is soaked through unless you're wearing like waterproof boots, and I really don't think you are.
I'm probably wearing boots though. All right, that's fine. So I leap out on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll look very quickly around to make sure I'm not about to be ambushed.
Nothing that you can see, and Chief just sort of ignores all that and just walks his way through the water. He's a retriever, and it's only about a foot deep, so
Right.
it maybe comes mostly up to about the middle of his legs.
I'll point out which rock is slippery, but I'm also going to quickly remove my boot and wring out my sock and then put it back on.
It still has that like icky, cold, damp
It's better
feeling sock
Been
shed.
filled with water. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now your foot's cold because it's
Yeah.
night.
I'm a survivalist.
And you've long since gotten calluses on your feet. The rest of these greenhorns, not so much.
Just think of it, Doctor. What stories you'll have to tell to your homeland.
I'm not even looking at him. Not even looking at him. I'm just glad I'm feeling better. It's nothing to look at. It's dark too. You're like, oh, look at all this. I'm like, it's just some leaves every so often. It's like we're in the dark woods looking for a bunch of half murderous children.
Why the
Nancy
fuck
walks
are they
across.
So-
doing?
Are you guys gonna try and cross? Pardon?
Oh, I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna try crossing over the rocks, and I made my dex.
Regular or hard?
Regular.
You slip. And yes, and you are not wearing boots. Your
No.
nice, shiny dress shoes. At least one foot has now gone. Well, it's been soaked already, but now it's even more soaked.
I'll
Are there any vines or anything on the other side?
bring our socks out.
Not that you can tell.
You could always wade through barefoot and then put your socks back on the other side. It's probably.
I'm gonna go across then, I guess.
How are you doing it?
Well, what's available? Is there a?
There's the stones. There's also, as what Brody suggested, take your shoes off, roll up your pant legs, and just walk. It's a foot deep.
Yeah, I'll do what he said. I'll take off the shoes, take off the socks, walk across, then once I get across, put everything back on.
Okay.
And I'm watching to make sure that nobody ambushes us when they're vulnerable.
Okay, and then Darius and Adrian, how are you guys getting across?
You're on
Adrian,
mute.
you're muted.
I'm already wet, so I'm just gonna walk through it. It's nothing. I'm done.
Splush, splush,
Yeah.
splush, splush,
Yeah.
splush, and the tail of Darius's trench coat is sort of fanning out behind you in the water.
At least it's washing the vomit out.
But yeah, I got the
guess.
vomit off of me. Little victories.
I'm taking off my shoes, just lifting it overhead and just walking through the water.
Okay.
And then putting it back
It's
on.
been more or less walking in a straight direction.
From the looks of it, it seems.
Where are
Single
they
file?
going? I mean, knowing the countryside.
No, they're kind of bunched up, but it's not like a line exactly.
But it's going all in the same. They're not going like this. They're going like this.
Like all the footprints are coordinated, is what you're saying, kind of.
I'm just
More-
saying
Well,
that
they
they're
have
going
a
east.
destination they're
They're
going.
not going.
Yeah.
They're not turning at 90-degree angles every 100 feet and going all around the place. They're going straight. So where are they going? Knowing this, I mean, we know Massachusetts. Where are they heading?
Like general direction, are we going towards a town or?
There's got to be other towns out here somewhere.
Navigation roll? Do we have a?
You can make one if you'd like to see if you recognize where you're heading.
Yeah, let's do navigate.
Yeah, my 10 in navigation.
I got a 30 out of 35.
Ooh, 17. I could put
Nice.
7 luck.
Yeah. I failed completely. So
Okay. So, from what you guys know, there's not really any towns around here. It's like Winthrop said, it's mostly just woods, abandoned woods. You can't really think of why they might be heading this way, but they definitely seem like they're heading that way for a purpose of some sort.
There must be something out there. Wasn't that one boy into nature? Maybe he found something. Was that his old stomping grounds?
Elijah Corey.
Dunwich. We're not going anywhere near Dunwich.
No, but he
We're not in
did
that
like the outdoors. His room, he had enough sticks to start a bonfire.
Yeah, but he
obviously we
wouldn't
don't
have
know
come
where.
out. You couldn't have gotten out here.
Yeah, this
Well,
is middle of nowhere.
But he knows how to move through the forest.
The
Right, but
question is where they're going.
we
I
don't
have
know.
no doubt he's leading them at this point.
Well, we might as well keep following. Light should,
Yeah,
your
we're
dawn should
shining
come
it
soon.
in.
Leading them.
And maybe we'll get light here at
Maybe
some
the
point.
black ooze is leading them.
It's
It must
possible.
have started in him first.
We're speculating. We
still
don't know.
that.
True.
That's true. We don't know.
We gotta find the kids and then
Okay.
there might be answers there.
All right. After about another mile of walking, and at this point, all y'all who are not outdoors people, your feet are throbbing. Like, probably your blisters are going to have blisters by the end of this. You eventually, so you walk for about another mile, and you come out on the edge of an overgrown cornfield.
So there is something out here.
And here you don't really wouldn't need it to track much because they're pretty easy to follow through this area because all this when you're in like an old field, it's pretty easy to spot where people have gone.
Sure.
You keep going through this cornfield and well, or rather it's an old cornfield. So like there's maybe corn husks and things like that. Actually, who probably is having the most miserable time right now?
Probably the other doctor.
Me, probably me.
Dr. Adrian,
Yeah.
please give me a dex.
Ooh. That is I'm going to spend 6 luck to make that just a regular pass.
Okay, you just managed to spot the dried out corn cob before you step on it and slip.
Oh, good. Step over that.
And we
Okay.
can't see anything in front of us. This is an open field. This is not our best
farmhouse.
Barn, yeah.
Chief comes forward and he's still sniffing the air and he barks a bit. But he doesn't seem like he doesn't seem to give any indication like there's anybody out here, like anybody who lives out here. But at one point, this was a cornfield, yeah, from somebody's farm.
Is there a farmhouse?
Not
Maybe
that
it's an
you.
old abandoned one.
Spot hidden.
No, I don't see anything.
No, it's too dark, and at this point, like, you know the general area where you are, but like, why you're out this far, nobody has any clue. After about a half a mile through this field, and it's muddy, like it hasn't started raining yet, but it's been kind of sprinkling off and on the past day or two, and so there's still it's still like very soft ground, so like it's that very like sucking mud.
Does the cornfield look like it was planted this year?
No, this is old. Like if there's any corn plants, it's just from like corn that might have fallen off of an abandoned cob and just sprouted.
It's about 4 or 5 by this point, so it's at least lightening up a little bit the sky, or is it still pitch black?
It's you've gone at least a couple of miles. It's probably closer to 4:30 at this point, I would say.
It's also cloudy, so.
And it's cloudy. After about another half mile across this field, you do come across a small embankment with a set of train tracks running north and south. But by the time you reach the train tracks,
Sounds like a flat tire.
I need a hat.
Tire?
It's raining a lot.
I'm already wet. I don't care. I'm ahead of the game here.
You should be dry by now. You walk for like 5 hours.
So now, if it's a train track, do we know where we are? We probably know the trains that come in and out of Massachusetts.
Can't be too many train tracks.
Yeah, it would be the one north of.
Well, I mean, there are some freight trains will come through this area sometimes. So like that's not like completely out of the realm of possibility that that's what these are. But it's pretty far out and it's really dark. So it's kind of hard to determine exactly where in the property you are at the moment. Like it's starting to get a bit lighter, but now that it's started to rain, it's going to make things difficult.
And we're still tracking. We're still following their direction.
Yes. You do see that the trail does seem to plunge back into the woods on the other side of the tracks, I should say. When you make it to the other side, though, I'm gonna need a tracking roll.
14.
Okay.
That is actually track. Ooh, if I spend 4 points, I can make it an extreme.
Do it.
You
All
spent
right,
a lot
I'll
of
do it.
luck. Do you want to do that?
I've still got a lot of luck. Yeah, I will. I've got 44 luck still after that.
Okay. All right. So at this point, Chief has sort of trotted on ahead of you.
Okay.
You guys, you find the tracks, and it's been about 30 minutes, and it's been about an hour. It's been about maybe another half an hour later, so it's getting closer to 5. Even if we're starting to get lighter, you wouldn't really be able to tell because of all this rain. You do. You're going the right way, and because you got an extreme, Brody, you see the glint of something in front of Chief right before he stumbles into it.
Chief.
The rest of you hear a snap and a.
Ah, shit.
Oh, that sounds like a trap.
I'm gonna run forward.
And
Yeah.
Chief goes down onto his side. Brody, you see that a noose of wire has wrapped around Chief's neck, and he's thrashing.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it right off.
I'm gonna start looking around with gun ready.
I'll shine the flashlight for Brody to like.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since you've got a giant knife, I'll give you the dex roll to cut him free with an advantage die.
Can I help hold the dog down or something to keep it from moving too much?
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. But if you're trying to hold him down, he's panicking, so he might be trying to snap at you.
Well, he passed already, I think.
Right,
passed already.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so now they're setting traps for us. Damn Boy Scouts.
They
They're
can't be.
not popping those knots.
I mean, they got to know that we're tracking them.
They gotta be, well, yeah, they do, but they're also gotta be running out of some juice after a while. They're just kids.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'll check the dog, make sure she's not too badly wounded.
He's fine, but there is what looks like a scratch or like a small scrape along his neck where this was wire, so
Right.
it's scratched him a bit. You can do first aid if you'd like.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
What kind of wires is that?
Regular pass.
Okay. So you don't really have now most of your stuff is made to use for humans, not dogs.
Right.
But most of it is pretty similar. So you do have some ointment that you can just gently rub on his neck, and he sort of is panting and licks your face, and you're making him feel better.
Good.
Now,
Nice
what was
kid.
that, Darius?
Is it like chicken wire? What type of wire did they randomly have on them?
I'm not really a super survivalist, but I would honestly probably chicken wire. Would probably be the easiest to get. Now, what was that, Dr. Vincent?
I was going to say, let me get my thoughts back together again. Taking a look around. Do we have an idea where we're heading?
We've been trying to determine that all night long.
All right.
No idea.
We still haven't got an idea. Okay.
They're
Besides the
avoiding
dog.
towns.
I will say, from the looks of it, it seems like you've been heading east. Ish.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh no, sorry, west. Sorry, my map. I read it wrong.
Okay.
Because all the roads and the train tracks have been heading north south, but you've been going across them, so you've been heading west.
All right.
Well, that's it's not. I mean, it's sort of in the direction of Dunwich, except Dunwich is more north than it is west. Anyway,
Okay.
Well, if we keep
So-
walking like this, we're gonna find something. We're gonna run into something.
Okay. Clancy, As you take another step after everyone's had the scare with Chief, you do feel on the back of your on the back of one of your heels, one of your blisters burst, and yeah, you can definitely smell some blood.
Well, doctor, you got something? You got a plaster or something?
Sure.
I can check out. Maybe we need to take a break.
No problem.
My foot's sore.
We're
Take
getting
off my
close to the
shoe.
point where we just need to stop.
Yeah, it's gonna be light soon. I don't know where they're headed. We're gonna.
True.
So, yeah, I'm gonna put the plaster. Have the doctor see if it help me.
While they're doing that, I'm rifling through my pocket on the trench coat to get some candy and hand it out for folks to get some energy back.
Probably
That's
just gonna sit.
That certainly does help. It's still raining, but there is a break in the clouds, and you are starting to see that the sky is starting to get lighter. It's probably maybe just after 5 at this point.
What do you think, Brody? Is it still worth tracking?
Now, these are kids, No matter how vicious they've been, they're still kids.
It's not that. It's that at this point they've gone so far into the woods. Even if we find them, how the hell are we going to get out of here? I mean,
That's right.
Nobody knows where we are. We need to get the state troopers out here on horseback and have them, hunt down where these kids are. If they're insane and criminals, then that's what they are. We have to hunt them down. At this point, they're not doing anybody else any harm. They're certainly not attacking towns and people in town.
So setting traps for potentially, random hikers, but that's not.
I think we're just way out of our league because there's more of them than us, like you said. Once we find them, what are we really going to do?
Advantage of having decent shoes, and you guys have those stupid leather things.
Well, they've been out in this rain too. So.
Yeah, but they know how to survive.
True. They're Boy Scouts.
Chief is sort of circling and whining like he definitely wants to keep going.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't get a say so. He's a dog.
Oh no.
But right.
We're so far. We're in for a penny, in for a pound. We could be close. I have no clue.
We could be not close. We could be 100 miles.
Well, let's give it another hour. If we don't see anything,
Another hour.
We've done due diligence.
Another hour will be another hour after that just to get back to here.
Maybe if we keep going, we can get to a different town or something.
Well,
we're not going to be far from a farmhouse. I mean, at some place. This isn't so isolated.
A farm. There's got to be somebody out here somewhere.
Exactly.
We had to be getting close to something.
Forward.
I mean, if we think we want to draw attention, there's one very, very quick way of doing it.
True. But I don't know if we should draw them to us if we want to just.
How's your climbing? My climbing's actually pretty good. Is there a tree here that I can climb up? I want to see if I can spot any kind of natural feature or something so that I can get my bearing, so that I know that Worcester is in that direction, and if we need to get out, we need to go towards the nearest town, not the way that we came.
Well, there's a tree nearby. Give me a climb.
I'll give him a boost.
I got 16 out of 50.
Okay. So you climb it pretty easily. From what you can see from where you are, you can kind of see that there's in front of you, just shortly ahead of you, there's an embankment. Now it's deemed light enough that it's still fairly dark, but now that you're higher up, you can kind of see that maybe another 2-ish miles, maybe. So it's fairly far on the horizon from where you are, but there appears to be like a slope up, like an embankment, maybe.
Okay, but is there a city or a town? The lights from the town I should be able to see.
Unfortunately, no.
What state is this?
Still Massachusetts.
It's been settled since 14 16 something.
But this is real rural Massachusetts at this point.
Not here apparently, somewhere else, but in this specific spot, nothing.
I don't know. At this point, we could all die out here of starvation, and nobody would ever find our bodies.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm like, we're just gonna die out here from just exposure.
It's only been a day for starvation to kick in. It takes a while.
Well,
we have water.
I think we can handle a few more miles.
I think so too.
Water, river sewer water. I'm not doing hot.
Let's at least get to that embankment, see what's there. If there's nothing else, to everyone's point, there might be a road we could follow, so it's at least easier walking,
Mm-hmm.
And the dog seems, Chief seems oddly brave.
She's still eager to go.
He's definitely sniffing the air, like he definitely still has the trail. Because again, he's not sniffing the ground, he's sniffing the air, and rain that can't get rid of everything.
So they must be really close if Chief is still under scent, even with the rain.
Well, they're close because they're setting traps. They know that we're not that far behind that. There's a group following them. So they're taking the time to set a trap.
If they're setting traps and also somewhat divided, then maybe that's a chance to catch them and not be surrounded.
Let me go first. I'm going to get a stick so that I'm walking with a stick. And I'm going to be poking the ground ahead of me as I go in case they've dug a pit.
It would have taken some time to dig a pit, but
it's like 12 kids, very motivated.
No tools.
We don't know exactly how far ahead they are from us. And they might have little shovels because they carry those so that,
like the entrenching shovels. Yeah.
Shovels, but digging in the woods through tree roots, it's very, very difficult to do.
You go first.
Anyway, I would. I'm not the tracker.
I've just seen a trap.
I'm just saying that I don't think they have the time, and I don't think they're that far ahead of us.
So how about we go 10, 15 paces behind you, Brody, and then we'll go from there.
I'm thinking maybe one of us hides in the bushes behind us for a bit to see maybe if they are doubling back on us.
What if they don't?
Then that person would be alone.
And we could set up maybe two of us set up an ambush to catch the ones that are following us. I don't. I'm just here, gentlemen.
I think Dr. Ramberg just wants to sit for a little.
Like,
I think we push on.
I don't know. I was just wondering because I don't have a weapon. I'd probably go with whoever has the guns. I have a rock.
You just stick with us. Eventually, we're going to have to carry you because of your feet.
My poor German little feet. They're hurt.
Let's get to that embankment and then we can decide.
Okay. So this trail is still pretty easy to follow at this point, so you don't have to worry about the next. You don't need to do a track roll for the moment. After about another 45 minutes, and oh my god, you just keep going. It's wet. It's cold. It's starting to get lighter, but it's still dark. You're walking about maybe 2.5 more miles. At this point, even probably Darius and Brody are starting to flag. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, Brody, but
Darius is flagging already. He's like my feet.
Right.
It's hard going. It's hard.
You're muted, Brody.
Am I muted?
Well, you said something and I heard nothing.
Oh, I just said. I don't know what I said. Just keep going.
Just walking and mumbling.
I said it's hard going. We know it's hard going.
Mhm.
You're telling me. Ugh.
Right. So you find yourself standing before another dirt road. Between you, there's about 20 feet of clear space between you and the road. On the other side is that embankment I was telling you about. And basically, if you can get up there, there's obviously going to be like a fairly deep valley with hills on the other side of it, probably. It's getting lighter, but it's still kind of dark. You can kind of see the headlights of a late model Chevy halfway up the embankment.
Lit up?
Lit. Oh, sorry. Halfway onto the far shoulder, I should say. And the lights are on.
Like it's pulled off to the side?
Mm-hmm.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
Do we recognize the car or not?
No.
Did the kids grab the driver here or something? What's kind of go up with car?
I'll pocket my weapon and then slowly walk up to the car.
We want to.
I have the
Um,
shotgun ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow
it's
Darius.
It's still pretty dark. Everybody, whoever's approaching, so that would be Brody, Clancy, and Darius.
No, I'm hanging back in the shadows.
I'll
ready for
probably hang back
ambush.
too.
Okay.
I'm not.
We'll let
So
the
Sean-
with the guns go.
All right. So Sean, Clancy, you guys are heading up. Dr. Vincent, where are you going?
I'll head up behind him.
Okay. I need you three to give me spot hidden, please, because it's still pretty dark.
On spot hidden.
Nope.
Okay, I'm spending 5 points of luck to pass.
Okay.
So regular.
And then Clancy?
I didn't pass.
No? Okay. So Dr. Vincent and Clancy, you only see like a couple of dark shapes. Darius, you know what dead bodies look like.
Right. So he holds up his hand
Mm-hmm.
and then just says, and smells the blood in the air.
Yeah.
Bodies.
Yeah, two of them. One small, one large.
Call the doctors over.
So while that happens, Darius looks around to make sure it's not an ambush. So that, yeah.
Yeah, nothing like that. Actually, from the looks of it, it's fairly easy to see that there's a young boy crumpled up in sort of like an awkward position in front of the car that has a very large dent in its front.
So he ran over.
And then so obviously, and this kid isn't moving. He's definitely dead, and he's wearing a scout uniform. At the side of the car, laying on his stomach, is an older man, probably mid-30s, early 40s-ish, with what appears to be a crudely made spear sticking out of his back, and a pool of blood still somewhat forming underneath him, but it's definitely been there for, I mean, it looks fairly recent, but you can't really tell from here. And all that blood is coming from a bunch of wounds, from what you can see, still all over this guy. Clancy, you and Vincent, Dr. Vincent, come up and see this, even though he warned you. I need you guys to give me a sanity roll, please.
And I guess I'll take one too, just for seeing
Yep.
the initial. Yep.
All right. That's one of the first ones I've passed tonight.
Ooh, pass.
Okay.
Regular success.
Okay. You all lose 1 point. But yeah, from what you can tell, Darius, you were basically right. It looks like the kid had run into the road, didn't realize the car was coming and got hit.
And then afterwards, either the kid somehow the kid did not last long enough, but other kids attacked this man, one with a spear, clearly, and probably the knife we saw earlier, at least a knife wound. So we know that they have weapons.
Mm-hmm.
How is the car out here miles and miles from any town in the middle of nowhere.
Could be just someone driving randomly.
Sometimes people come through here if they're, in late night, early morning drives.
Really?
I mean,
we got a car. We can leave now if you want.
Yeah. And they might have spare clothes if you guys want to change,
I guess we'll pull them out and maybe put them in the back or something.
Darius, you would also notice that both corpses are still warm.
Well, when the lights are on.
We're right near. We had to be close to them.
It's fresh.
So how much warmer comparably to the other body as I get kind of morbid here?
Well, no, Dr. Vincent, you would probably know that. Rigor hasn't quite set in yet, so they're still these have not been dead for very long.
Yeah, we're not far behind them.
If we get on that embankment, we should be able to see them if they're anywhere nearby, right?
We should at least lock the car up.
Right, get the keys so they can.
Somebody take the keys, get this on the road.
Are the keys in the ignition?
Or on the gas.
The lights are still on, so I would presume the keys are in the ignition.
Okay, so we should just grab those and lock it.
So maybe Brody, you and I get up that embankment, take a look. Doctors, Philip, maybe see if there's nicer clothes, dry clothes, or whatever you guys can change into, and what else is in the car. Yeah,
I think it's the opportunity for those of you who are too blistered to go on.
Yeah, a little bit, because I'm thinking we're a little bit I don't know how useful I'm going to be out here trying to round up children at this point, because we're all who else? Philip, you're not feeling super good either.
I'm all right. I can do it.
Yeah, Phil and I have been on worse stakeouts.
Hey,
I'm just wondering
they could bring the car to blow too.
Exactly. Where's the backup though? We called for people. They should be at least behind us.
They'll be near the other road. We're way, way away from that already.
Well, I don't want to split up is the thing. So
That'd be unwise.
Well, maybe search through the car first. We'll take a look at the embankment and then we'll decide.
I'm gonna open up the glove compartment box. Is there a map in this car?
Or liquor.
Yeah.
Philip, give me a luck roll.
50-50. No. 59.
Okay. No map. Sorry.
any
Darius,
clothes?
Darius, give me a luck roll for booze.
At 52. Exactly.
Hacha! Someone's got bathtub gin. A couple of bottles of that in the floorboard.
Nice. So Darius gets it and passes it around. You know, something to warm you up, gentlemen?
Maybe that's why he's out at night driving.
Yeah.
They're bootlegging.
Dr. Ramberg, give me a luck roll for clothes.
Nah, there's no clothes.
Unfortunately,
He's got a coat.
Yeah,
no
and
clothes.
might be some socks and shoes.
Oh yeah, his
You guys
shoes
It's the
realize
dead
that
guy.
dry, yeah.
How bloody are the dead people? How bloody are those clothes?
he was
kidding. No,
yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
even.
They've
The
been
socks
rained on.
should be fine. The socks.
The socks, the dead guy's socks? No, I'm sorry.
He probably doesn't
If there
have
are-
fungus.
If there are bootleggers out here, we'll be shot on sight before we even know it's coming.
True. Well,
But so will the kids.
Yeah, we don't
Exactly.
give a fuck about that. It's, do you want to die?
Yeah, but we're following the kids, so the kids are ahead of us. If they run into something like that,
And we haven't heard gunshots.
yeah. Well, I'm going to take the socks. And so if it's,
I mean, if we're taking the dead guy's socks, I guess. I don't know. That sounds horrible.
Check if he has a wallet.
The hardships y'all
That's
can't
brave.
deal with. My socks are wet. I need to rob a dead guy.
Hey, it's no good.
Jesus
It's not doing him any good.
I didn't go to the University of Vienna for this.
I'm taking socks, and if there's a blanket or something in the back, grab it as well. So,
Old women walking through the woods trying to catch a bunch of kids.
I'll be nice. There is a blanket in the back of the car.
Oh my God.
I'll throw that to Ramsberg.
Oh boy, I just bundle up. Just I already have Darius's coat.
I thought that's what you meant, Thomas, like an old lady, like a shawl.
I'm just gonna have this like shawl by the end.
Maybe we can make a campfire and cook up some chicken soup for you.
They're gonna think like, oh, these several men and this grandma behind them, this little babushka.
No one would suspect a friend.
Adrian's feeling warmer, but he wishes he had not left Germany ever.
Well,
Or at least the diner. At least he was like, screams. Should have just stayed there and eaten the really cheesy food. No.
Or found that German grandmother and went to her place for
Let's
dinner like
just
she
go
promised.
find these kids.
yeah.
Exactly. I'm hitting her up after this, honestly.
Okay, so Brody and Darius, you guys are heading for the embankment.
Yeah.
Okay, it's slippery. The rain hasn't stopped, and it's gotten muddy. So like very easy to turn into a mudslide. I need you both to give me climb rolls.
Okay.
5 over 20, so I could spend a point to get extreme.
I
Okay.
got 42 out of 50.
Okay,
So I'm just regular best.
so Brody, you're fine. Darius, you dealt with worse in the war. Okay, so nobody slides or anything, but that being said, Chief is with you. He stands near the top of the embankment, freezes in his tracks, and starts like, and he's refusing to move.
And now they know we're here.
Hi, Chief.
Something's here.
Darius draws his gun out. Oh, there you go. That's Chief.
That was really good.
Yep. Yep.
Get
That's.
my rock ready.
Thanks, Cairo. Sound effects.
Chief. Chief. Chief.
Good girl, Chief. Good girl.
Good chief. Good chief.
All right, that's the perfect sound effects in time.
Actually, it's great. Yeah.
Oh no.
So what?
Oh, sorry.
What do we do?
Too immersed. I can't.
Can
Right.
you say anything?
Get gun out and then slowly lean my head over the embankment, knowing that if there's a not sniper, but
So you're looking for something?
Yeah.
looking where Chief is pointing, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So knowing that they have set traps and Chief is going, "Arr," you guys notice a glint of something in the stretch across the ground in front of Chief.
Like a wire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a
How-
trap.
How far does it go?
Can we see what it's trapped?
Like what are the ends?
Mm-hmm. Now that you see it, you can sort of easily trace where it goes. You follow the wires up the glints in the gradually lightening sky, and over in a couple of trees is suspended a very large log by these wires and a trip mechanism.
Holy
We
shit.
managed to cut down a log, rig it up, and
In a tree.
smart kids.
I'm just impressed.
It doesn't
Can
take
I?
smarts. It takes the strength of 10
it's-
men.
It's not going to, it's set in a way where it wouldn't fall on you. What it would do, however, it would fall on the embankment and roll.
Oh, even worse. Break ankles. Snap bones.
Well,
Is
let's
this
trigger the damn
normal?
thing. And
For your
Keep
Boy
out of the way.
Scouts, I ask. Is this normal for your scouts? I imagine. I wouldn't know.
I wonder, do we want to trigger it and then scream in pain and holler and lure them out?
That is a good idea.
I think
I
it-
like that idea.
Then they
Right,
might
we'll
come
hide
to
in the
say-
car. We'll hide in the car or behind the car and out of the way.
That's a good idea.
All right.
I guess
Okay.
how do we trigger it? And then we also have to make sure the
We got
dog isn't
sticks.
going to be.
Yeah, use a long enough stick to poke at the tripwire should set it off, honestly. But yeah, so you guys can just fall back to the car, bring Chief with you, find a long enough stick to poke out the wire, and then thud! Rumble, 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 rumble.
Oh, fuck! Ah!
And
Ow, the pain.
convincing, Darius.
Damn, kids!
Oh no!
And then eventually it goes clattering like into the road, kind of lands in the middle, kind of.
And then we wait quietly.
Well, after I'm not gonna make the rest of you make the roll to climb that embankment. The two of you that made it before can just make it again and help them up. I'm going to be nice.
Aw, thanks.
Wait, who are we helping up?
Everyone else.
Everybody
just-
Everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
I thought we were going to hide behind the car and wait and see if the kids come to see if.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You wait a few minutes. Nothing.
Keep
Just
screaming in
throw-
pain.
What do you think on setting up a trap like that? I mean, they're not doing that ad hoc. You think they already had this set up?
It seems so. Like
I don't
unless
see
they've
how
just,
they could have.
it's
They've
like
been
I have
in
no-
school into
built.
town.
This makes no sense, but that's not something you just put together in a few minutes.
Unless they didn't set this up. Maybe this is not by them, this is for them.
But
Or for whoever, whatever's coming here.
Are you
Well, they-
telling me
they
somebody
could've-
came out here and just rigged this up for them preemptively? In what?
No, I'm saying
mere-
this is
a mere
defense
hour?
against people like them. If
Brody,
they're going somewhere.
is that log I assume that's a fallen log or a rotted log. I can't imagine the kids chopping that down.
Well, we
From
would have
the
heard that
size
from
of it.
10 miles back.
They
Yeah.
would have
Chop
axes
of the
though.
wood.
They would have axes, but we would have heard them building.
Well, I'm
this.
saying-
We would have heard. the
Why
chop
wouldn't they have-
chopping.
They're I'm gonna say they're walking a deliberate path. Had they had these traps set up beforehand,
Well, where are they getting the wire? Where are they getting?
that's why you would have it set up beforehand. I don't know how or why, but this makes no sense that they took the time to chop that down, rig this.
It equally makes no sense
us.
that they could have set this up in advance. They were in school last week.
How else do you explain it unless this is a bootlegger
Unless
scam
Unless
that-
it's a bootlegger's trap. It could be a bootlegger's trap.
Right, this isn't by them, this is, maybe they're heading somewhere and someone doesn't want them to. Like, this is defense against them.
Yeah, but
I'm
they
hoping
didn't
they
trip it
didn't-
themselves, right?
I'm
They
hoping
thought
they
they're
didn't
smart.
accidentally along the way somewhere get on a bootlegger's trail.
But it's
And that
children
we've been
footprints.
following the wrong trail.
Yeah, but bootleggers don't. They need access on a road. They're not going to carry
We
their.
crossed 2 roads though.
But they're not going to be too far away then. If we've got a camp and they're setting up traps, it should
It
be.
doesn't make sense
close.
that bootleggers would be out this far either, because they need to transport their goods.
Right. So this none of this makes sense.
This makes any
Should
sense.
we keep going forward, or do we want
I
to get in the
guess
car and maybe try and cut
so.
them off? Maybe we can like.
well, we
feel
don't
like
know if they're
We
going to
can't
follow
go
this
the
road.
direction they're going in this car.
True.
We have 2 options. We can either go on or grab this car and go into town again.
The traps are only getting more dangerous, right? First a wire and now a log. What's next, a guillotine?
I guess we should just proceed really carefully. Because I mean, if they must be running out, like this is, we got to be close if this is what they're willing to do. However, this happened. We're close to something.
Are we? We've said we're close to something for the last 2 hours, and we're not.
I don't know. This is a
close.
big country. It's very big here.
It's very big.
Now
I
the
agree.
bodies were still warm when you came across them, so they're not that far ahead.
I can't wrap my mind around the building of the trap so quickly.
If we
That-
were in
They didn't build
Germany,
it.
we'd be- If
They
we
didn't
were
build
in
it.
Germany, we'd be in France by now.
I know we'd already be halfway to Spain. Just
Well, why would Germans be in France?
vacation.
Walk there.
Cody,
Yes.
I'm up to. I'm
Holiday.
with you. I mean, if you think this is far enough, I'll turn around. We'll get in this car. We'll go into town. They're close. I have no clue how they built this trap in a few minutes.
Telling you, this isn't built
let's-
by them. They're heading somewhere, and
I
the
turned to Clancy and asked if he can take pictures of this,
Sure, I could take pictures of
just for
what-
evidence in our report after. And I turned to Sprague. I'm like, we should be taking notes of this as well for our research paper. Like,
I don't
if
think we
this-
have time to take notes right now.
Everything's so.
Well, I mean, just mental notes. I'm just like, I'm like looking at Sprague and I'm like, what the hell did we just stumble into?
so if we climb
Things are
onto the
going-
embankment, do we see anything? Like, do we see signs of the kids?
yeah,
you
let's look
definitely-
around.
You definitely can see where they've gone. They've definitely gone down the embankment on the other side. And the trail leads into what appears to be another set of woods, but the trees now, instead of being all the firs, are moving into things like beech and oak.
So it's probably getting like wetter, right?
Too bad it just rained or would set fire to the forest and smoke.
Yeah, we're not going to set fire to the forest.
Brody, you know the backcountry better than we do. What do you think?
I
Are we
have
walking
done my
into
best to
more
see
of
if
a-
I can figure out where we are, but this backcountry goes, it's like we're in Canada. Maybe we're in Canada.
No, we're not in Canada. Here, Brody, I'm going to give you a freebie. The
Yes.
road you guys are currently on, if you had taken it, if you take it far enough south, you'll be heading toward Wilmington.
So that tells me only that if we go that way, we'll head for Wilmington. If we head east, we'll end up in the ocean. If we head west, we'll end up in California. But we don't know any of this area. So we know there was a train track, which would have probably been ultimately going from Boston, east and west, because everything goes into Boston, east and west eventually. I don't know. I think it's a risk assessment at this point, boys. We have fugitives armed, granted with knives, setting deadly traps for us. Do we want
Are
to
you again
stay
sure
true?
they're the ones setting the traps?
Well,
I almost, yeah. It's
there
dangerous
are
regardless of
trap-
who's
there
doing
are deadly
correct.
traps in this direction.
Who else? Who
Do
else
we want
at
to
this
turn
point?
around?
Well, think about it,
don't-
Doctor. If they're going somewhere, maybe these are defenses for where they're going to.
That's what I'm thinking. If we I think we're right on them. Like,
Yeah, I think we
Or
need
the
to
more-
be.
the more we talk, I mean, let's get ready. Let's just
Yeah,
run
let's keep on going.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Okay.
Oh,
That's how you all die. I mean,
Come on, Brody, you have to die sometime. And, Darius
yeah,
just
I'd
slaps
rather
him on the
die
shoulder
than
and walk.
I'll tell you what, I'm not walking in the front anymore. I've done that for hours.
Fine, I'll do it. And Darius just heads on,
Okay.
gnawing
After
on dump
about-
drops while walking.
All right. So after about 15 more minutes of hiking, you've been into these new deeper woods of beech and oak. There's some steep hills, low-lying glens, things like that. After about 15 minutes, I'm gonna need a tracking roll from somebody.
well,
Chief,
Yeah.
track.
bring Brody up to the front and see. We're losing the trail here.
I got a 54 on my track, which is, actually, I have to spend 4 luck to make that a success
Okay.
because I'm pissed.
Okay. So you continue on, and nothing else really happens for about another 3 miles. It's still
Has to be
raining.
light out by now.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's like 9.
No, it's actually probably closer to, I would say, 7-ish.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's been about almost 3 miles, and then suddenly Chief just halts and does like a sort of plaintive moaning sound, like our special guest FX dog was doing earlier.
Is it another trap boy?
Yeah, could be.
Or bodies. No. Or Chief is just tired.
I don't think he wants to be here. I
Could
guess
be.
I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna turn the lights off because it's bright out and kind of.
Dr. Ramberg, what you see when you go past Chief's plaintive moaning? There's a stick in the middle of the path, ran into the dirt, and staring back at you, eyes open, tongue lolling from his mouth, is the mounted head of a young boy.
Ooh.
And that is where I'm going to cut it tonight.
So now they're killing each other.
Mm.
Well, then all of our problems are solved.
I know. We'll just let them take care of it.
By attrition, they'll be gone.
Well, except the one.
Our players included Thomas Grooms, Dexter Yoakum, Billy Chung, Oren Meyer, and myself with Jen Obertacz as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.